Nobody in my family came to my basic graduation. A few weeks later, Dad texted, "I need $8,000 for your sister's wedding." I sent $8 with best wishes. Then I told my husband to change the locks. After that, Dad called the cops on me. I graduated on a Tuesday in August. Fort Jackson, South Carolina. 112 degrees on that grade field. I earned every second. The blisters, the 4 a.m. wake-ups, the drill sergeant who made us low crawl through red clay mud just to prove we could. My family had 4 months notice. I sent the ceremony details in March. Date, time, base address, parking. I included a hotel link because I knew my mom would complain about the drive. I confirmed their names on the guest list. I did everything right. Dad said he'd be there. Mom said she'd be there. My sister said she'd try. Nobody tried. I stood in formation and scanned the bleachers the way you do when you already know the answer but need to see it for yourself. Section D, row 2. 3 seats I had reserved. Empty. All 3. Empty in a sea of people holding handmade signs and crying into each other's shoulders. The soldier next to me had both parents, a grandmother in a lawn chair, and 2 little brothers running along the fence line in matching polo shirts. I watched them a second too long, then I faced forward and finished the ceremony alone. What my family did that weekend, I found out later, was throw my sister a bridal shower at a winery 40 minutes from town. Catered, flower wall, custom cocktail napkins with her initials. I know because my cousin texted me photos during the actual ceremony. My mom in a white linen blazer, laughing. My dad mid-toast looking like the proudest man alive. My sister tearing open a KitchenAid mixer like it was Christmas morning. I saved every one of those photos. I didn't say anything when I got home. My husband picked me up from the airport, took one look at my face, and didn't push. He always knew when I needed silence more than words. We ordered pizza, watched something forgettable, and I let myself be home for a while before dealing with any of it. 3 weeks later, on a Sunday morning, my phone buzzed on the counter. Text from Dad. No greeting, no welcome back. Just, "I need $8,000 for your sister's wedding. Venue deposit due Friday. Send it to my account." I read it 3 times, not because I didn't understand it, because I needed a moment with it. The confidence, the total absence of any acknowledgement that he had just missed watching his daughter graduate from the United States Army. I opened Venmo, typed his name, entered the amount, $8. Memo line, best wishes. I hit send, put the phone face down, and went back to my coffee. He called 11 times in 2 hours. I watched the screen light up and go dark, light up and go dark. My husband glanced over from the couch once. I shook my head. He went back to his book. Then my cousin called, not to take sides, but to warn me. She mentioned my dad still had a spare key to our house, the one I gave him before I shipped out, back when I still believed the version of my family I had built in my head. I hung up and looked at my husband. "We need to change the locks." He was already standing. He went to the hardware store. I sat at the kitchen table and pulled every text from my dad going back 2 years. Screenshotted all of it, printed it, stacked it in a folder with the Venmo receipt on top. My husband came back with a new deadbolt, a new knob set, and a keypad for the garage. Changed everything while I made dinner. When he finished, he set a key on the counter, brass, recently cut, that he had found taped inside the old lock housing. A copy. My dad had made a copy of my spare key without telling me. I put it in the trash. 2 days later, officers knocked on the door. 2 of them. One did the talking. She said they had received a complaint from my father regarding personal belongings and access to the property. She said it carefully, the way people do when they already sense they're being used as someone else's last move. I invited them in. My husband had the folder open on the table, the full text thread, ring camera footage of my dad trying the old garage code 3 times, then trying the front door with the old key, then standing in our driveway for 20 minutes before driving away. The Venmo receipt, the property deed with our 2 names on it and nobody else's. The officer looked through everything. Then she turned to my dad, who had apparently followed the squad car and was now standing in my doorway, and said, "Sir, this is her house. There is nothing criminal here." My dad looked at me from across the room. I did not look away. He walked out, left the door wide open behind him. My sister got married 6 weeks later. I wasn't invited. On the day of her wedding, I made chili, walked my dog through the neighborhood, and sat on the back porch until it got dark. My husband brought out 2 beers and we sat there together listening to the night come in. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel vindicated. Just quiet, the kind you earn.